Hello, wonderful people. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Tamara, and today we're going to talk about BPD incomplete. And you can think of incomplete in two different ways. You can think of a borderline as someone who feels a depth of incompleteness in them, like something is missing or there's an emptiness there. What I'm mostly going to focus on is the actual word incompleted. Like when a borderline doesn't complete things, what is going on? So I've talked about in my videos high functioning borderlines. There can be some borderlines that are very high functioning, but okay, so there have been borderlines that I have in my personal life and that I have also worked with who are above board. Like you can't touch them. Like they are phenomenal leaders, executors. They do things on a level that is unmatched by most people because they have a different energy level than most people do. And they're just, there are some that are just incredible. But then there are ones that have great difficulty completing things, following through on their word, doing what they said they were going to do. And that can be really confusing to someone who's working with someone who is promising one thing and delivering another. It doesn't make sense. So I'm going to try to make that a little clearer to you. I had an experience recently where I put on a really huge event. There were a lot of moving parts, a lot of people involved. I knew how I wanted this event to go. I've had a lot of experience with it and I wanted to top myself. I wanted it to be even better. I wanted to impress. I wanted it to be top level, right? The best of the best, like every detail covered. So one of the many people that I worked with to put this event together, she didn't put the event together. She was one of the many pieces of the puzzle. So she was, I talked to her on the phone. She had actually had a part of this event when she was in this organization, so she was familiar. She told me all these details about, ideas and ways that it can go, and I used to help out with it, so I know how it's supposed to be and how things are supposed to run, and here's some ideas, and all just sounded wonderful over the phone, right? And she told me, I'm gonna bring 11 people and we'll do whatever you want us to do, like whatever. So I mapped out this whole plan. This is like a couple of months in advance. This is what I want the 11 people to do. And it was very complicated figuring out what role I wanted them to play, but I thought this is gonna be great, right? So, oh yes, we'll do that. So I always remind people before the events. Contacted her. She said, I'll call you back, She calls me back the day before the event, and it's like 11 is now 5 people. Okay, so I'm like, we're gonna have to reconfigure, but as long as they can still play those roles. Oh yeah, definitely. Everything is super agreeable. We're gonna make this work. We'll do whatever you want us to do. Okay, so I actually reconfigured the whole plan, rewrote it so that when they got there, they would know what the plan was. Because I looked at the previous plan, I thought it's kind of complicated. Let me simplify it. So I simplified it, had it ready, but she knew in advance how to train these people. They walk in the door, they have not been trained. They start arguing about, you said I was gonna get to be with that group. No, I want to be with that group. These people have not met. They don't know each other. There's no cohesiveness. She's like, I'm going to take my people in this other room and I'm going to go over everything. And I just feel this undercurrent of you're going against what I prescribed them to do. Oh no, I'll handle it. I've got it. Oh, well, then if you want to do this, then we'll get you a group that you could. No, ma'am. We're not getting them a different group. I've already told you exactly what I want them to do. You're inventing something new to appease this upset person. We're not appeasing them. This is what I need them to do. So it was like everything that I'm telling them to do, it's like the opposite. And then it's like, well, I want to take my people and I want to go over this. No, I'm going to go over what I want your people to do because I don't want you to screw it up. And they're looking lost and you've had this plan for 2 months and you're teaching them everything they're going to need to do for 6 hours. Oh my goodness. It was like on the phone, you're talking a great game. And now that we're in person, I was like, I'm in trouble. I am in trouble. I have to take charge of this. And I could see her body language not liking it. Like, I want to be all over the place. I'm going to get you all the pictures that you want. Don't worry. I received not one picture, not one. I'm going to be at the front helping you the whole time. She might have been there 10 minutes out of hours. So she's all over the place, but thankfully the people that she brought were more grounded and they still had to be spontaneous, but they got the job done. They were able to work things out, figure things out. The problem is this person, I believe, has borderline personality disorder. That's what I was gauging. So for her, the event was more, I'm coming back to a place of familiarity, a place that I used to work, a place where I know everyone. My invested interest is I want to reconnect with the people because I'm longing for them. I'm missing them. The other part of it was we started with 11, but now there are these particular 5 people that I want to get close to. And so I want to be focused on them. So it's not about the task that they need to execute. It's about connecting, like fulfilling my personal need of wanting to see, can these people meet my needs? That's what it became more about, is I'm focused on these people. I'm attached to them. I don't want you near them because that's a bit of a threat. Like, I don't want you to take away the people that could feel this emptiness that I feel. Like, you're interfering with that. And if you want the monster to come out, trigger it too much and I'm gonna attack. And I want them off to myself. I don't want you involved. But the problem is, I'm looking at it from the perspective of this is a huge event that has to go right. She's looking at it as this is an opportunity for me to bond with people. And so that looks very different than an event. You see what I'm saying? So even though there was a potential for me to be extremely angry, right? Once I saw her MO, I controlled it as much as I could. Let those people know, you need to be doing this. She followed them around the whole day. And hey, that's okay. Because the way that you're going to try to run my event is different than I want to run it. So it was best that she followed them wherever they went, because I could see a potential issue. We are walking in 2 different lanes. And so at the end of the day, when I saw her, I gave her lots of hugs. Thank you so much. Why? Because I understand that if you have borderline personality disorder, you're working with far more interruptions and things that are are controlling. That BPD controls a lot, right? And so I found myself having deep compassion for this person because I felt like she's doing her best. Like she had good intentions. She's trying. She's trying. You know, she's doing the best she can. Lots of hugs. I gave her lots of hugs. Thank you for bringing these people because they ultimately did what I wanted them to do. We're all happy, okay? You got to spend time with them, build relationships with them, and I got to have them for my event. But that's often what happens with a person. I would say she was medium function, high functioning in one way, kind of low functioning in another, right? And so that can be confusing for someone who doesn't understand what the disorder is trying to do. It makes it not make sense. It makes it look like chaos. It makes it look like you used to be a part of this event, so you're trying to manipulate. You're trying to sabotage my event because you don't want it to be as good as what it was when you played a role in it, when, because people told me after the fact that it wasn't good before, and they told me it was amazing. They didn't know it could be that to that level. So anyway, when you have a borderline that's having difficulty getting it together, or it seems like they're trying to manipulate, they're probably not. They're just trying to feel okay. They're just trying to, they see these people as potentials to connect with, to feel. They're just trying to feel better. They're just trying to function in a world that feels very chaotic. I mean, imagine if you're trying to walk in one direction and you've got these people taking your arm and they're pulling it in another direction, and you're trying to write and they're picking up your hand and not letting you write. So they have some internal workings and mechanisms that are also working against them. So have some compassion, understand that even if it looks like they don't mean well, they do. They do, you know? And so that just, yeah. So we want to have compassion and understanding for, why is it that you give someone BPD a task to complete and you find that they're not completing it or they're not getting it done right? It's because they're working with a lot more internally than you can ever imagine. So let's have some compassion. Another type of personality disorder that I've worked with a lot are narcissists. So if you're having difficulty understanding them, check out my book, The Workplace Narcissist by Tamara Zyon on Amazon. It will help you to navigate them better. So I will put the links to both of my books in the description box, and let me know if you're a borderline and you've had difficulty completing tasks, and maybe help us understand what that feels like or looks like to you, because the more we can understand BPD, the more helpful and the more compassionate we can be. So thanks for watching my video. See you on the next one. Bye, my friends.